Today we are going to discuss MCQs questions of the activity-based costing. The first topic we already covered. A company produces a range of products and uses absorption costing system. Which two of the following are unlikely to be a consequence of the company switching to an activity-based costing system? Okay. First of all, indirect overheads will be shared between the products on the fairer basis. This is in an activity-based costing. Product pricing decision will be improved. This is also in activity-based costing. He said unlikely the consequences. The prime production cost of the each product will fall. Activity-based costing does not affect the prime cost of each product. So that's why this is not affect due to the activity-based costing. Then cost control on the indirect overheads will be harder to achieve. The cost control is harder to achieve. No, we are switching to the ABC for the control of the cost. So this is unlikely consequence. Total production of each product will change. Yes, total production cost will change when we use activity-based costing. So option C and D is right option. Okay, now the next question, question number 29. A company which makes two products, alpha and zeta, uses activity-based costing to absorb its overhead. It has recently identified a new overhead cost pool for the inspection cost and has decided that the cost driver is the number of inspections. Your cost driver is number of inspections. Okay. The following information has been provided. Total inspection cost is 2,50,000. Production units is 2,500 for alpha, 8,000 for zeta. Machine hours per unit is 1 and 1.5. Units per batch is 500 and 1,000. Inspection per batch is 4 and 1. What is the inspection cost per unit of the product alpha? Select the list below. So you have to calculate the inspection cost per unit. Keep in mind in activity-based costing, first of all, you calculate any cost relating to the any activity in total, then you will convert in per unit. So we are going to solve this question. He said number of inspections. Inspections per batch is given, that is 4 inspection in one batch of alpha and 1 inspection in zeta. We have to calculate how much batches are. Units per batch is 500 and total unit is 2,500. So I will calculate number of batches alpha and zeta. 2,500 units we have to produce, and in one batch I produce 500 units. So 5 batches is required. And for zeta, 8,000 units is produced, and in one batch we will produce 1,000 units. So number of batches is 8. So total number of inspections, we will calculate total number of inspections. We have 5 batches, and in one batch we have alpha 4 inspections. So 4 into 5, I will get 20 inspections. And for zeta, you have 8 batches and 1 inspection is required in each batch. Then you have 8 number of inspections. Your whole total number of inspection of alpha and zeta is 28. This 2,50,000 cost given is for the total inspections. Now I will calculate cost driver rate. Cost pool divided by level of cost driver. Your cost pool is inspection cost, that is 2,50,000 divided by level of cost driver, which we calculate that is 28. Okay, examiner did not give you any issue in the cost pool, but the calculation of a cost driver is maybe given in the different ways. So you have to understand the calculation of how we will calculate the drivers. 2,50,000 divided by 28. It's 8,9. Driver rate is 8,928.57142. Try to multiply whole answer because we are working, we are per inspection. How many inspections you have for the alpha? You have 20 inspections. Alpha overhead cost is, we will multiply 8,928.57142 with number of inspections, that is 20. You get 178,571.428571. We will divide for the per unit number of units, that is 2,500 units. Then you will get your per unit cost. That is 71.43. So option C is the right option. Now we will discuss the next question. Which of the following statements are true regarding the activity-based costing and cost driver? A cost driver is an factor that causes a change in the cost of an activity. Yes, it is correct. Option is right. For long-term variable overhead cost, that cost driver will be the volume of activity. Cost driver may be volume or non-volume. Volume means like machine hours or labor hour. Means traditional system is also used in activity-based costing system for some of the cost pool activities level. So this is also correct. Traditional absorption costing system tends to under-allocate overhead costs to the low volume products. Yes. Traditional system is volume based system, which results in the under and over allocation of cost. It under allocates the cost to the low volume product because system is volume based, and as per activity based costing, high volume, high cost, low volume, low cost. That's why, but activity based costing argue that there are some products which are low in volume, but they are complex to produce. That's why they consume more support activities and they have to charge more overhead cost. That's why we said traditional system under allocates the cost to the low volume product because it is the volume. So all three statements are true. Option D is right option. A company makes products A and B. It is experimenting with activity-based costing. Production setup cost are 12,000. Total production will be 20,000 units of each of the products A and B. Each run is 1,000 units of A and 5,000 units of B. Using activity-based costing, what is the setup cost per unit of A? You have to calculate the number of setups first of all. For number of setups, what we do, we will divide number of setups. A and B are my products, and we have 20,000 units of A and 20,000 units of B. In one run, 1,000 units of A is produced, and in one run, 5,000 units of the B is produced. So you have 20 runs and 5,000, you have 4 runs. Total number of production runs is 24 or setups. So you will calculate your cost driver rate. Formula is cost pool divided by level of cost driver. Cost pool is 12,000 and level of cost driver is 24. Keep in mind, first of all, in activity-based costing, you will calculate the total, then you will convert into per unit. It is 500 per run. I have to calculate the setup cost per unit of A. For A, I have 500 is my driver rate into 20 production runs. This is 10,000 and I will divide it to per unit for 20,000 units. This is 0.5 per unit. Next question. Question number 32. Okay, which of the following statement is or are true regarding the activity-based costing? He said a cost pool is an activity which consumes the resources and for which overhead costs are identified and allocated. Yes, it's correct. An activity-based costing overhead absorption rate is calculated to the same way as the absorption costing OAR. Yes. And will result in the same OAR being calculated for each cost pool? No. This is the difference. Different rate for the each cost pool. If you have 10 cost pool, you have 10 different driver rates. Okay. So that's half statement is correct, but the other half is incorrect. That's why this is wrong and this is right. So option A is right option. A company uses activity-based costing to calculate the unit cost of the product. The figure for the period 3 are as follows. Production setup cost is 84,000. Total production is 40,000 units of the each product A and B, and each run is 2,000 units and 5,000 units. Same question which we discussed in question number, I think, 31. What is the setup cost per unit of the B? Now, this time you have to calculate the per unit cost of the B. So, first of all, same way I will calculate the number of production runs or number of setups. Number of setups, I have two products A and B. 2000 units, 40,000 units of each product divided by 2000. For B, 40,000 divided by 5,000. I will get production runs (20) and 8. Total setups is 28. Now we will calculate the cost driver rate. Cost driver rate is, what is your cost pool? Cost pool is 84,000 divided by 28. It is 3,000 per setup. I have to calculate the cost of B. 8 into 3,000. It becomes 24,000 divided by 40,000. I will get per unit. That is 0.6 per unit. He said for 2 decimal places 0.640 is your answer. Now, next question. Question number 34. ABC company manufactures two products, product alpha and product beta. Both are produced in a very labor-intensive environment and use a similar process. Alpha and beta differs by volume. Beta is high volume product, while the alpha is the low volume product. Details of the product input and output are of the cost, and the cost activities are as follows. Alpha labor hours per unit is 5 and beta 5 units, 1200, 12,000. Number of purchase orders, number of setups is given. Fixed overhead cost amounts to be total 4,20,000 and have been analyzed as follows. It's divided as the volume related, 1 lakh purchase related, 1,45,000, setup related, 1,75,000. Using the traditional method of overhead absorption based on the labor hours, what is the overhead cost per unit of each unit of the product alpha? So you have to calculate using traditional system labor hour, what is the overhead cost per unit of each unit of the alpha? First of all, you have to calculate the absorption rate. You have total overheads, but you don't have total labor hours. So we will calculate the total labor hours. I have two products. Alpha and beta. Sorry, we will write the products not here. Alpha and beta. Units, hours per unit, total hours. Alpha unit is 1200, beta unit is 12,000. Okay, 5 and 5. It is 6,000. It is 60,000. Total is 66,000 hours. Now you will calculate OAR, that is budgeted overheads, budgeted total. We will take total overheads, not activity wise, 1,20,000 divided by 66,000. This is your hours. So what is your absorption rate per hour is 6.36336. Now we will multiply with the labor hour, that is 5. We will get 31.82. Two decimal places, 31.82. This is your overhead cost. In activity-based costing, we will calculate that, in absorption costing, we will calculate directly per unit. I have 5 labor hours and the rate is 6.3636. I will get 31.82. Now, question number 35, which is same data and using activity-based costing, I have to solve. Okay, he said same data which we discussed, and now we have using traditional system, we calculate the unit cost of beta. It is same because same labor hours is consumed, so it is again 31.82. Question number 36. Same questions as we discussed in 34, 35, and 36. Now the requirement is changed. He said using activity-based costing as the method of overhead absorption, what is the overhead cost per unit of each unit of the product alpha? Overhead cost of each unit of alpha. You have number of purchase orders, you have number of setups, you have total labor hours. We have calculated our total labor hours. That is 66,000. This is your cost pool. This is your level of cost driver. Sorry, it is your cost pool cost. Okay, now cost driver. 66,000 machine hours for volume related. Purchase relating cost is based on the number of purchase orders, that is 160, and number of setups is related to the setup cost, that is 100. So I will calculate my cost driver for each activity, for each cost pool. As you know, the formula for the cost driver is cost pool divided by level of cost driver. So my cost driver rate is 1.5151 per hour. Okay, then it is 906.25 per order, and it is 1750.107 per setup. I have calculated three absorption rate. Now I will charge overhead cost to the product. Overhead cost of alpha. Volume related, first of all. So 6,000 rate hours 1.5151. It is 9090.90906. Next rate is 906.25 and number of orders is 75. I will get 67968.75. Next is 1750 into 40. It is 70,000. Total overhead is 9090. It becomes 147059.6590. Calculate the cost per unit divided by number of units. That is 6,147,059.6590 divided by 6,000. You will get per unit cost. That is 22.75 B. Sorry, not 6,000 on units, that is 1,200 units. It is 122.55. Option C is right option, not option B. We will divide on the units, not hours. Mistakenly divide on the hours because you have to calculate the per unit cost. So I will divide it on the 1,200 and then I will get 122.5. Okay. Now, next question. Yes. Now, question number 37 is same. He said, using activity-based costing, what is the fixed overhead amount to be absorbed into the each unit of B? You have to calculate for B. No, this is the. Let me check. We have discussed this question. This is different question. 37. Question number 37. He said a company makes two products. Using the same type of material and skilled workers, the following information is available. Budgeted volume is 1,000, 2,000, material per unit, labor per unit. Fixed cost relating to the material handling amounting to be 100,000. The cost driver of these costs is the volume of material purchased. Okay, general fixed overhead absorbed on the basis of labor hours amount to be 1,80,000. General fixed overhead is 1,80,000. Relates to the labor. Okay, or fixed cost related to the material handling amount to be 100. It is based, driver is material purchased. Using activity-based costing, what is the total fixed overhead cost amount to be absorbed in each unit of the product B? You have to calculate for the product B. First of all, I will calculate the total material cost and total labor cost. Total material cost. What is your total material cost? 1,000 multiplied by 10 plus 2,000 multiplied by 20. I will get 10,000 plus 40,000. Total material cost is 50,000. Same is the case with the labor cost. What is your labor cost? 1,000 into 10. Oh, sorry. 1,000 into 5. Plus 2,000 into 20. It becomes 5,000 plus 40,000. Total labor cost is 45,000. Now you will calculate your rate or cost driver rate, that is material handling. $100,000 divided by units. Oh, sorry, divided by material cost, that is 50,000. Dollar per unit of material cost is, that is 2 per material. Okay, then labor. 1,80,000 divided by labor cost, fixed overheads, that is fixed overheads. Your fixed overhead is 1,80,000 divided by 50,000. You will get 4 per labor cost. Now I have to calculate the unit B. B 20 into 2, it is 40. And 20 into 4, it becomes 80. Your total per unit is 20. In this question, we can calculate per unit directly because the volume-based cost is used. When volume-based is used as a driver, then you can directly calculate the unit basis cost. Okay, there is no issue. But when you have non-volume basis, then you cannot calculate it. Now, question number 38. A company is changing costing system from the traditional absorption costing based on the labor hours to the activity based costing. It has overheads of 1,56,000, which are related to the taking material deliveries. The delivery information about the each product is below. Total number of units required is 1,000, 2,000, and 3,000. Delivery sizes 200, 400, and 1,000. Total labor cost is 3,06,000 for 45,000 hours. Each unit of the product takes the same number of direct labor hours. Okay, same number of direct labor hours is taken for each unit. Assuming that the company uses number of deliveries as the cost driver, what will be the effect on the cost per unit of the following change from the absorption costing to the activity-based costing? To the activity-based costing, place a tick in the box in the table below where appropriate. So you have to calculate the number of deliveries first of all. Number of deliveries is in one delivery 1,000 into 200. X, Y, and Z. You have 1,000 units divided by 200. I will get number of deliveries. That is 5. 2,000 divided by 400. Again, you get 5 number of deliveries. And last one is 3,000 divided by 1,000. You will get 3. So total number of deliveries is 13. Okay, I will calculate hours per unit. 45,000 total divided by 1,000 plus 2,000, 3,000. Total unit is 6,000. Total hours divided by total units. 6,000 in units. You have 45,000 hours and 6,000 units. Hours per unit is 7.5 hours per unit is required. Now you will calculate overhead absorption rate using traditional system, that is 3 lakh, sorry, what is your total overhead? 1,56,000 divided by total hours, that is 45,000. I will get the absorption rate of 3.4667 per hour. How much hours? I will calculate overhead cost per unit. 3.4667 into 7.5 hours, which I already calculated. I will get 26. Each product he said consumed the same labor hours. So X, Y, and Z unit cost is 26, 26, 26 under traditional system. Now I will move to the move towards the activity-based costing. Now, activity-based costing, I will calculate the driver rate, cost driver rate. 1,56,000 divided by 13. It is 12,000 per delivery. So I have 3 products, X, Y, and Z. I will calculate 12,000 per number of delivery is 5. into 5. 12,000 into 5, it is 60,000. For Y, it is also again 60,000. For Z, it is changed because it is 3 into 12,000. It becomes 24,000. Sorry, 36,000. We will calculate the per unit. For per unit, we divide the number of units. Number of unit is 1,000. It is 60 per unit. Number of unit is 2,000. It is 30 per unit. Number of unit is 3,000. It is 12 per unit. So what is your cost? This is your activity-based costing cost. Now I have calculated my absorption costing, that is 26, 26, 26. So compare the result and calculate. Product X will increase, product Y will increase, but product Z will decrease. Question number 39. We said DRP Limited has recently introduced an activity-based costing system. It manufactures three products, detail of which are as follows. Production DRP, budgeted annual production unit is given in the question, batch size in unit is given, machine hours per batch is given, purchase orders per batch is given, process time in minutes is given. Three cost pools have been identified. The budgeted cost for the year ending 30th June are as follows: machine setup, purchasing of material, machine setup related to the number of setups, purchasing related to the number of orders, and processing related to the machine hours. Processing time per unit. Processing related to the processing time per unit. So first of all, you have to calculate what is the budgeted machine setup cost per unit. Machine setup cost, you have to calculate the machine setup cost per unit. Okay, of R, product R. Machine setups per batch, you have 3, 4, and first of all, you have to calculate the number of batches. Number of batches of D, R, and P. 100,000. In one batch, you produce the 100 units. So you will get 1,000. Then next you will get 100,000 divided by 50. You will get 2,000. Then you will 50,000 divided by 25. You will get 2,000. Total number of batches. Okay. And the setup per batch is 3. 3 into 1,000 number of setups. Now I have to calculate the number of setups. D, R, and P. 1,000 batches, and in one setup I have in one batch I have 3 setups. I will get 3,000 setup. 4 into 1,000. Sorry, 4 into 2,000. I will get 8,000. Then 6 into 2,000, I will get 12,000. Total number of setups is 23,000. Now I will calculate cost driver rate. Setup cost is 1,50,000 divided by 23,000. I will get driver rate. That is 6.521739. I will calculate R total cost. R driver is 8,000 into 6.521739. 8,000 into 6.521739. I will get 52,173 divided by units. Units so far is 100,000. Divided by 100,000, you will get 0.52. Option B is right option. Okay, this is all about your kid practice.